For many, Nigeria remains a country of vast but untapped potentials, blessed with abundant minerals, fertile land, and a large energetic population. It has every ingredient for a thriving economy. Yet, persistent gaps stand between possibility and dependable progress. What must be done to break that circle and close those gaps? How can state governments step up to drive inclusive and bottom-up growth? And where does the federal government still need to act to attract and sustain investment? Well, these and more will be explored with our guest, the chairman of the Odu'a Investment Company Limited, Otumba Bimbo Ashiru. Thank you for being our guest this week.
Thank you, Larry, for having me.
It's our pleasure. I would like us to go straight to your company, the company which you chair, the Odu'a Investment Company. I would like to understand a bit about it.
Yes, Odu'a Investment Company is a birth from Western Nigeria Investment Corporation, which was formed by the likes of Shifo Obafemilao and his team. And when they did that, they had a focus. They had a thinking that, look, how can we galvanize and help the economy of the southwestern region then? And they identify what the kind of natural resources that were there, cocoa, rubber, and what have you. And I want to remind you that Nigeria used to be the second largest exporter of cocoa in the world. And they were thinking that how can we believe that our children must go to school, free education, how do we do that? We cannot fund it by government funds alone. Income are not coming in those days. And they said, look, what kind of things can we do? And they now took advantage of cocoa plantation, agriculture then, that led into industrialization those days, rubber and everything. So it was the funds they realized those days that they used to set up cocoa and set up Odu'a Investment. Odu'a, it was Western Nigerian Development Corporation. Okay. But during the military regime, it's going to be 50 years next year, the military people now called it Odu'a Investment Company, which is, so the point is that because they now said, well, it's a joint ownership of the Western region then. And other states, other regions, the northern regions, they set up their own northern region. But I can tell you that Odu'a is the only surviving regional investment company. But I'm happy that, if one of my colleagues that now they have Northern Investment Corporation too, okay, which is a good, but they had it before, but all of them went underground. Because those days, the Odu'a group then, they had a vision, they had a mission. And I will tell you, it's a one-stop shop. They were into investments. What kind of investment? Real estate investment. Building houses. And they said, look, if you want to build real estate, you want to do business, how do you survive with that? They need to have a cement industry. And they know that, for example, Ewekuru cement was there. Shagamu cement was there. The cement, they said they have the limestone. The limestone they had, the way it is, since 1965 years ago, they are still mining till tomorrow. They have limestone that from Shagamu that goes to Ewekuru, that goes to Euro. So that limestone, then Shifawolo Uncle went and brought in blue cement from England, which is now they call elephant cement. And they started, and when they were bringing that, they brought in Nigerite. Nigerites are the body that does roofing sheets. So 90% of Nigerite raw material is cement. So it clearly shows that they've been able to look at the value chain. All this, they now identify an industrial estate. That's what gave back to the Island Avenue, Adeniyi Jones, all the industrial estate in Ikeja. That's how it came up. And if you don't forget that Ikeja is an acronym of Ikoru Ketu Ekpe Joint Administration. That's how Ikeja came up. So they now started building, doing all sorts of things, doing investments in Lagos, Ibadan, all the Western region. I can tell you, during their time, Western Nigerian government borrowed the federal £12 million there.
From the investment company.
From their investment company, from the funds they have in Western region. So, and that was what really propelled all those things. And we just said, they built hospitals, they built, Cocoa House, we just celebrated 3 years of Cocoa House. Cocoa House, I spoke with the Kapan Galbato MD, who said, when they were trying to say, this is a tall order How can you build a 26-story building?
At that time.
At that time. And they used real architects, super architects, smart people to do the investment, to do the building. And they did the construction. The place got burned in 1985. It did not collapse. And today we've returned all those glory. And they had, Odu'a now they were into hospitality, they had pharmaceutical company, they had insurance company, they had, they had all those, all the subsidiaries of, you'll be surprised.
The thing that is of interest to me, and which is really surprising, is the fact that it survived when so many appeared to have dissolved.
Because they did not use their 10 fingers. They didn't bite all their 10 fingers. They didn't use it to feed. They were investing here and there. And I can tell you today, the investment then is what we are benefiting today. And during the military regime, they came in, some of those things were taken, but luckily we've been able to recover some of them. And that's why we have real estate business that we are doing in Victoria Island, in Ikoyi, in Ikeja. We have turned it around. And I'm happy to tell you that Premier Hotel, that was the hotel then, we have now revived it. We are increasing the room from 87 to 154 rooms. We've built a tower, 10 floors, merging it together, and 6-floor car park with conventional center on top of it. By God's grace, Mr. President, we're going to invite him to come and commission it by first quarter or second quarter next year. Odu'a today is now involved in marginal field. OMN 95 in Ondo, we paid our signature bonus 3 years ago. So we are going to be doing petroleum mining.
A lot of people now want or advocate or feel that the issue of regional governance is something that we should do more of in this country. That states need to work together. If they're in a region that is similar and they are basically alike.
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
And I can tell you, and I want to give kudos to the late Governor Akeredolu, Governor Kayode Fayemi, Ajimobi, Amosu, all those governors then, Ekiti, all the 6 governors, they came together. They all came together and said, look, this thing that was formed by our people is going down. How can we bring it up? And that's how they brought in the right caliber of people as directors, and they started the forge there. But when we now came in, we invited KPMG. KPMG now became a consultant to the group, and they advised on corporate governance, best practice, and non-interference. I can tell you today, no governor gets involved. None of them, nobody gets involved in what we are doing, but we get approval from them. Apart from that, they are not involved in where I say, I'm sending my family, my cousin. No governor, I can tell you that. And I give kudos to them. Even the crop of the governors here now.
So, but why is it possible here and it's not possible elsewhere? Coordination.
You must work. See, teamwork is very important. And people don't see it they see it as progressive things. We must work together. If you don't work together, you cannot achieve that result. And I can tell you, the caliber of people that are on the board of Odu'a today, and I will give you a good example. When we took over, we created something they call SRC, 5 years strategy. And I'm happy to tell you, and we said we're going to make a particular amount of profit. By December this year, we're going to make that profit and surpass it. So we are going to start SRC 2. But the point is that we had the support of the governors. And the governors they could see what we are doing. We are creating jobs, we are creating all sorts of things. But the point is this. The reason why they were having problems is that people are being selfish. They are thinking of themselves. No governor will tell me, Bimbo, your team should come and do something in Ekiti. Come and do something. Because they have all those investments there in all those states. For example, we just signed a 10 billion deal in Ekiti State. We are going to grow maize, cocoa, and everything. Beside Agbeyewa farm, we had the support of the state government. We are doing something in Osun. We are doing mining in Osun. The marginal field is in Ondo. So we get the necessary cooperation from those governors. But the problem is that the insecurity in some of these places, but I'm happy to tell you that they have the Northern Region Corporation too. We are going to be collaborating together and look at areas where we have competitive and comparative advantage, and we can come together and do that. And I'll be honest with you, the government, the state governors, they don't have any problem. They don't have any business with the center. they have the resources. The point is that they should focus on areas where, I mean, if you look at what you have in your state, if it's growing rice, growing cocoa, or growing, I mean, each state, they are endowed. Remember when Clinton came to Nigeria? He said something. He said, Nigeria, you have no business with going around the world to look for money. Your resources are here. And he was tapping the floor. He meant what was, because when you are coming into this country, you see a lot of white people coming in. MTM came to Nigeria. They were bankrupt in South Africa. But today, they are funding. No business comes into this country. Lafarge is being now bought over by a Chinese company. They are seeing something that we should see as Nigerians. And our governors should start looking at areas in-house, how they can develop. Growing up, the local governments were the ones doing our rules. Chief Odu'a was the governor of Ogun State then. He realized Ijebu Road. He was doing everything. When he was local government chairman, he started that as a governor. So you could say that local government should be given their responsibilities. They are supposed to take care of all those schools in the local government area, small hospitals. I mean, they call them dispensaries, all those things. I mean, they should focus on that. But
what I'm more interested in is how we have the issue with the collaboration. Because as it is right now, you do not appear. Yes, we have the regions already, yes. South, Southeast, yeah. Southwest. And I remember there were points where they were even thinking about doing the electricity, the issue of power generation
yes.
to get.
We've gotten some Chinese that are interested in generating power. Mm-hmm. But you see, then there are some things that are under exclusive right, whereby the federal
yes.
should give states the power to do that. And they will always and the reason why the federal will say at times that it's just like the state police that they are talking about, is that some people are not matured. If you give them that power, they will be running after their enemies. I don't know whether I'm making sense here. Yes. So the point is that the states should stop competing among themselves. I don't know why I'm making the point that they should stop competing among themselves. You should encourage states where they look at areas where they have comparative and competitive advantage over each other. And so, you are good in cassava. Let's let's cooperate. I can come and invest in your state. Oh, you are good in the area of cocoa. But the point is that everybody wants to shine. Everybody wants to shine. They want to be superstar. No. Let me tell you this. The chairman or the president of a team, of a group, is a member of that group. So the failure of that team is the failure of the president, the failure of that team, the failure of that team is the failure of the president. So what we need to do in Nigeria is that let us forget about being selfish. Let us collaborate and let us see it as a collective responsibility. See, I smile when people put the blames on the president. The president is not going to bring the investor and go and run your state for you. There's a division of power. What the Constitution says is explicit. Even the governors, they have immunity. So they are immune. So nobody can sue them. They cannot be sued. They can even sue, but they cannot be sued. So the point is that let us be sincere among ourselves. Let us be truthful to ourselves. And that will help Nigeria a lot.
Beyond the issue of, and I like the structure you people have right now for the investment company, but are there other areas states can come together? I like the idea of a regional power.
I will tell you this. There is a standard rules in a corporate environment. You must have at least minimum 3 board meetings in a year. Minimum. And among the board meetings, apart from those 3 board meetings, they have committees of the board meeting. Those are the areas where they're going to discuss how things should be done. Are you getting me? It's not competition whereby the governors will. I found it ridiculous at times when a 5-kilometer road is being commissioned. No, these are things. I remember during the military regime, when you say a military governor is being recommended, say no. The president will say no. But I remember Babangida will say no. They are doing the job that they are being paid for. Go and do your job. It's just like in the bank. If somebody goes and brings deposit in the bank and you want to give him commission, then why are you paying him salary? I might as well go and look for somebody outside and say, get me deposit, I'll give you commission. So the point is that we need to be sincere and truthful to ourselves, because the point is that all this development agenda, we should start looking at how do we make the people that we voted for, let me even tell you, some promises made by the governors during campaigning, the election period, when they go out to campaign. I'm going to come and do this road. Somebody that did that was Jakonde. He told me that story. He said when he was campaigning, he went to Irubeju, that Lekki Express. He told the other place, he said they couldn't, and he said he promised them that I will come back and do this road if I'm elected. And when he was elected, he didn't have the fund to do that road. He went to meet Chief Awolowo. Now look, I don't have the fund. I said, go and meet Shagari. I went to meet the president, Shagari. It's a federal road because, and they came to do that road. The credit went to Jakonde. I mean, you could see that this is a leader who is committed, who is focused. The point is that integrity matters. When you go somewhere and promise you're going to do something, you must ensure you do that.
I'm looking at, is it possible we can spur more collaboration in the different regions? So what would you say should be the blueprint?
The first thing is that I will focus on infrastructural development, agriculture, that we did in health, education. And let me put it this way, when you look at areas of infrastructure, even if you are talking about agriculture, if the roads are not good, how will they get there? They must focus on that. Rural dwellers, rural roads must be done. As if I'm a governor today, the first thing is to focus on infrastructure, health, education, and bring in investors into the states. And the investors are going to bring the states. They are the ones, and you make things. Let me tell you this: at times, some states to get a land it will cost you an element. So the governors must educate the KBCs that look. Forget about the issue of Omonile. Forget about what is in it for you. Look at Alhaji Dangote. He set up cement factory in Ibeshi. When I was commissioner then, when we went to commission the place. Alhaji Dangote is from Kano. Is he going to take that cement factory doing 12.5 million metric tons per annum? Is he going to take that to Kano? He can't. He has invested so much. So what needs to be done is they must make life easy, seamless for investors. So you're talking about the enabling laws. What I call is that creating an enabling environment for business to thrive. And how do you do that? I remember we created a one-stop shop. Where you come into the Ministry of Commerce, you protect. It's just like having private banking in the bank. Your private banker will take over your responsibilities. If you want anything in corporate banking, he will go there. If you want to do something with teller, if you want to buy foreign exchange, if you want a loan, your private banker takes responsibility. You apply for everything, he or she follows up. So that's what we created in the ministry, and I'm happy Governor Abiodun is doing the same thing. They've created investment hub in Ogun State, whereby when you need something, you go there. Luckily, the lady in charge was my SA when I was. So the point is that you must be conscious, you must be deliberate about how to satisfy. Because let me be honest with you, even all those things, if you don't bring investment, how do they pay tax? Are you going to be taking tax? How much tax do they pay teachers? Civil servants? No.
Now, are you saying this enabling environment doesn't exist around most
states?
Of us?
That's because when people come into the states, they are frustrated to get CFO in some states. Then when you go in there, the Omonilers will come and meet you, bringing gun, cutlasses to fight you. So they must be protected by the states. And how do they do that? They must educate the traditional rulers in those areas, because they are the ones that will tell, oh, no, this land belongs to us, this is my father's land, don't do this. Then at times, forgery. They forge documents, they lie to you, this land belongs to you, come and show you the land, and then you get in there, you pay. Meanwhile, you cannot buy any land in any state from anybody. If you want to get to the CFO, you must go to the state government.
Yeah.
So if you go and pay money to a money there somewhere,
or to somebody,
and they showed you that it's our land and everything, you still need to go back to the state, because one, if you buy a land or anything, for you to get a physical planning approval, anything, you must show the evidence that you have the CFO. You must show documentation. So how do you do those things? These are the problems. So you must make things seamless. Let us be conscious that, it's just like, let me give you an example. A friend went to have a procedure in an hospital in London. From the ground floor to the procedure room, over 15 people attended to him. Reception, oh, welcome. So if you are charged, you are happy, you are paying so much money. So those are the things, our health. Some people just die just like that because there's no proper care. People don't even care. Human values. So when they don't have human values, so I'm trying to say that if as a governor or as the Southwest Commission is that we should look at how the Chief Awolowo and co, how did they achieve it? Because they were deliberate, they were conscious, and they were thinking that the value chain proposition, you have to look at it. You have a land, you have into real estate. How do you get raw materials? Let me give you a good example. If you set up a ceramic factory in Ogun State today, 90% of your raw materials are in Ogun State. The Babbage thing, all the limestone they use there, all the big stones, they were all from Ogun State, Shaje in Ogun State. So you can imagine what is that?
The collaboration.
So Lagos State they are not blessed with lands. I remember Lagos State, they were collaborating with Ogun State about farming, they were doing it. So they will have some land. Even Iju Water Corporation is in Ogun State.
I remember Ogun State was also building the environment, knowing that since Lagos didn't have land, people could come get land and still feel like they're close to...
Ogun State is what New Jersey is to New York. Are you getting me? Oyo State, what are they doing there? What is the collaboration between Oyo and Osun? Are you getting me? What is the collaboration between Ekiti?
So our states need to do more.
They need to do more.
But you were going along a trail. You talked about the enabling environment. You talked about the issue of making sure the land laws...
The land laws are seamless
as possible
to favor the teaming investors. If they are not seamless, if the land laws are not there, then there's a problem.
This is more of a problem when you understand that the president has spent the last 2 years inviting investors in. And the investors won't come to Abuja and stay in the villa.
That's what I just said today during our program, that that's why NIPC, Nigeria Investment Promotion Council, is very important. And Aisha is doing she's doing very well. She travels with the president and everything. So they are the ones, and I think what Mr. President should be doing going forward is to hand over those investors to NIPC. Now, I asked the DG, the director that came, when I was in government, I remember we said NIPC should have offices. And I was happy to hear that NIPC, they have offices in all the 30 states of federation, which is good. So now, when they come in, they can now go to the state and say, what have you done about this? Look, some states, if you go in there just to invest, by the time you spend 2 days or 3 days, you just decide. It has happened that some states, you go in there to come and invest there, and by the time you are so frustrated, you leave the state and go to another state. So the states must be seen to be hungry for Give it to the governor, the present governor of Ekiti. We're in Dallas last year. The man and he walks the talk. So we must have leaders that will walk the talk. So my own focus as a leader, say agriculture, I want to focus. So what are the value chains of agriculture?
The picture you're painting is like we're doing the talk, but we're not doing the work.
We're not working the talk.
And there seems to be a disconnect between what we're saying as regards we want people to come in and the ability we have on ground. Is this a problem with our law? Because if you look at the way the federation, the constitution gives...
Okay, let me give you one example.
Yeah.
PPP, public-private partnership.
Yes.
Yeah. When I was in government, if Land Elasticity comes in to want to partner with a state and you discuss everything, there must be an enabling law that is binding the two of you. So when any governor comes in, they cannot change that law. I don't know whether I'm making sense here. You see?
A legal instrument.
Yes. That legal instrument that Lagos State has done it. Find out in the whole of this country how many states have PPP law now. Because it's a law that must go through the National their State Assembly. House of Assembly. So if they don't have it, you cannot do anything. If you've just signed your life. So the point is that if you sign any deal with any state governor, and the governor leaves, and another party they have probably hostile takeover, the other governor will stop the project the one was doing before and start his own project. That's waste. I don't know where I'm making sense here. I'm communicating. That is waste because who are the people suffering? The citizens, because they have spent billions of their naira to do something. Mm-hmm. Somebody else came in as a governor and is doing something else. So these are the problems. So we need to be sure that, what are they discussing? I see the governors forum is just like, we met in New York, UN, United Nations. If UN is really functioning well, there won't be law in Gaza. There won't be war in Gaza.
True.
There won't be war in Iran. Because it's in fact United Nations. So that means, what are we talking about? So it's just talk shock. You come the next year, you say, even I listened to Donald Trump, he said, what is even the purpose of this UN? He said, because he's frustrated himself. He said, look, are we achieving anything? So that is the same thing, whereby somebody comes in, you promise that, oh, come and invest in my state. You get to the state, you've now bought the land. To get CFO is a problem. To get physical planning approval is a problem. And you have a timeline that, look, the primary aim of any investor is to protect his investment and make returns on his investment. So if those funds are failing, and they have timeline, because don't forget that some of these investors, they borrowed money. So our leaders, our governors, and I will be honest with you, and they say a country deserves or state deserves the leader they voted for. So maybe we must now start looking and asking questions and let our governors be accountable to us.
I wanted you to continue with what you were talking about. You remember we're trying to pull out some of the things we feel the states need to put in place. The country is hungry for development.
Yes.
The president appears to be telling everybody, come, Nigeria is now open for business. But from what we're saying now, the places where they are supposed to do that business still needs a lot of work to be done. Yeah. So you were talking about some of the issues, the legal environment.
For example, let me give you a good example. If the president has gone out, and he took some state governors too.
Yes.
So it's expected that when those investors are coming in, things will be seamless. Some states are doing it, but not all the states. Some they don't even understand what it means by bringing investment. That maybe they don't even know. Look at the fact. What are they doing with the fact?
Now, because it appears we're still having these issues now, because what we have is a constitution that gives clear separation of powers.
Yes.
So everybody has his role.
Yes.
But since it appears we have the president going around, do you think there's a need for us to maybe an agency that would map out some of these things that need to be done for you? Since the Governors Forum doesn't appear to be doing it.
What I think can be done.
Good.
As a president, if any state governor invites me to come and commission a project in a state, I will send my team to go to all those states, everywhere in that state. They should go there and list all the exceptions. So when I come in, I will not allow the governor to take me through one route. I will tell him, I want to go through the route. Are you getting my point? Or, as a president, I pay on scheduled visit. You remember during the military regime, it's easier. You pay on scheduled visits to the state. And that time, you'll be able to know what the problems are. And you can send whistleblowers to different states and identify things that are not working well. There are so many things. It's easy. But the problem is that let's give it to the president of the country. They will kill this man if you have to, are you getting me? So he needs to appoint, even the ministers too, they need to help. What is the minister for finance, or let's say minister for education, minister for trade and investment? What is the relationship between those ministers and their counterparts in the other states? I remember when I was commissioner, we used to have commissioners meetings with the Minister of Trade and Investment, and we collaborate, we discuss. Then, I know that head of service because they are all civil servants, they meet with their federal head of service. So it is during that. You see, why do they introduce MPR in the banks? Are you getting me? It's peer review, performance review. So what I'm saying is that if maybe Mr. President should introduce something like, this is the best state in Nigeria, then there'll be competition.
Yeah, but if the competition is there and we don't have them understanding, like if you have a scorecard, you were trying to pull out just now some things to be done.
Yes.
I know for some states, I remember for Kaduna State, they had already put some things, this type of ease of doing business.
We started it in Ogun State when I was commissioner.
Good. Now,
I'll give you a good example. Business premises permit, before I got into Ogun State, it used to take 6 months to give approval. We reduced it to 24 hours. That if somebody is coming to do business in your state, let him apply, approve it, then we know I'll go and do a necessary inspection. Once they've dropped all necessary documentation, and we've seen it, it helped. I was invited to Kaduna State to come and explain, and we did it. And World Bank, ease of doing business, Ogun State was number 36. We moved from number 36 to number 4.
Yes, so this is what I'm saying, that if we can do this, and it's clear what to do.
Yes.
From what you're saying, the issue of land is even critical to business.
It's critical.
Now, if we're saying that these are the things we need to do we need an agency from the federal, understanding the implication for the national, to go around states and says, you need to, these are priorities?
Because they are separation of, states, they are laws. But what I'm telling you is that it's just like you send your child to the best school. You have 3 children.
Yeah.
You send them to the best school. One is doing very well, making you proud. The other one just try to. What I'm saying is that, let me be honest with you, it's not that they don't know what they want to do. It is let me tell you, it is the characteristics that is inherent in an individual that determine how you run your show. Some people are just laid back, and some people are they just believe that, okay, show off, doing this, doing that. But the point is that if a governor, if I say I'm a governor, but some governors are doing very well in their states.
Yes.
They are doing, so what are those ones, the ones that are doing well? They don't have 2 heads. I don't know whether you are getting my point.
I get. Now, I would, let me move slightly, because I really want to get your point of view. You served at the state level.
Yes.
What makes it difficult for us to have states being centers of development? Because I don't know, you are someone that works in the economy.
I will tell you this, and I will
because when I look at it feels we're trying to force development from the top.
It cannot work. Development can come within the states, and I will tell you this. Don't forget that the civil servants in the states, they went to the same university we went to. Mm-hmm. They decided to go to work in the civil service. You must, let me be honest with you, you must carry them along with whatever you are doing. You must carry them along. The bane of our problem is that most of these civil servants, the permanent secretaries, the directors, they are not carried along.
Carried along by who?
By the political appointees. For example, when I was a commissioner, I defer a lot to my permanent secretary. I defer a lot. I hold meetings with my directors. I talk to them. I ask them questions, because there are some rules. In civil service, I cannot sack my driver. There are processes.
Yeah, yes.
There are processes. But if you now say, because you're a commissioner, you can sign if I'm a commissioner, no, you are going to have problems. So they will wait to frustrate you. It is that frustration that leads to underdevelopment in the state. I don't know whether I'm making sense here. I'm now bringing you back home. So whatever you want to do as governor, don't see them as second-class citizens. See them as partners in progress. I don't know whether So when you see them, carry them along, they will belong. You see, if you don't forget that if you go to America, you say, I am a proud American citizen. I'm a proud British citizen. I'm a proud staff of Ogun State government. I'm a staff of Lagos State. I'm a staff of Kaduna State government, Ekiti, River State. If they are being carried along, let me give you an example. The governor of River State, present governor, was a civil servant. Governor Ambode was a civil servant. So, because, that is succession plan that worked. Mm-hmm. So being a civil servant, let me look at it. The reason why Lagos State is easy and very clear is that there is proper succession plan. Somebody came to complain to me one time, the former head of service, that they don't have Lagos State indigenes at the federal service, civil service, at the top level.
In Lagos State?
Lagos State citizens, indigenes of Lagos State.
At the federal level?
At the federal level. Because what they have, they're happy with it. They have
what they have at the
state level, they have career paths. So they don't need federal. Go and check today how many citizens of Lagos State are at the top level of civil service. Man, I want you to tell me. But you can see citizens of Kaduna State who are permanent secretaries. Go and check how many citizens, indigenes of Lagos State, that are permanent secretaries. So because they are contented. I don't know where I'm making sense here. So they believe our own. And Ogun State, because of the Western region thing, they are more. There was a time in civil service, military or foreign areas, the largest population are Ogun State indigenes. So they have issues with federal character issue. So Lagos State, they won't feel federal character at the federal civil service level. Because I'm saying that they have created. So what I'm saying is that if our citizens, indigenous of Ogun State, they know that there's job for them, it's okay for them, we'll stay in Ogun State.
Okay, so let me leave you on that point. Yeah, but I would like us to move to the issue. You are someone that you are in the investment sector.
Yeah.
So yours is to look out what's good, what's moving. And I think for you, you watch the economy.
Yeah.
I would like to understand, between when this government came in and now, how would you say business has been? Because I know from the top, immediately the government came in, we had the twin issue of removal of subsidy and the stabilization of the naira, but of the foreign exchange.
Yes, I will tell you.
So, but how would you say it is now for you people in the investment? Because you watch the money.
I can tell you. You see, let me be honest with you, and let me be very honest. You see, I give kudos to Yemi Cardoso. Great banker, you understand. See, when you put the right person in the right place, you will have achieved result. So, Yemi Cardoso, disciplined banker, was commissioner for budget, was a banker, Citibank, where there is what they call corporate governance, due diligence. Now, the economy, you will not feel it now, but things are getting better in terms of policies. I don't know whether I'm making sense here. Like, Naira is stabilized. You see, people keep on forgetting. Dollar is not our legal tender. Naira is our legal tender.
Yes.
There is too much laxity in terms of foreign exchange in this country.
What do you mean by the laxity?
Laxity, in the sense that if you want to pay for anything, you denominate it in dollars. And I was happy to hear when the president said there's a policy that payment should be made in Naira. Transactions. Foreign exchange, leave foreign exchange to people that are running bureau de change and doing foreign exchange business. Are you getting my point? But the problem is this, and I will tell you this, is the corruption in our system. So the corrupt officers, because of money laundering issue, you cannot pay so much Naira into anybody's account. They will trace it. EFCC doing a good job, follow the money. So the only way they can do it is to collect. So if I give you 100 million Naira now, you carry it in so many bags. But $100,000, just 5 bags, you can put it in your pocket and live with it. Am I making sense? So what I'm saying is that that alone, you see, people don't look at that corruption too causes all those problems. I don't know whether I'm making sense. So the point is that the first subsidy that President introduced, it makes sense. He's just trying to say that my father went to borrow money from the bank, we are spending borrowed money, loan from the bank, and we are getting carried away. Now look, let us forget about loan and let us start spending the money we have.
So the economy right now, how, in your words, how would you say our economy is?
Things are stabilizing. Even the World Bank, they are saying it. Because being a banker, I understand the dynamics. Naira has been, you see, yes, before the president came in, things are really bad. But now, Naira has stabilized. I think today probably is 1,400. I mean, it's coming down. It's not going up. Unlike before that, it was going up. Then the issue of, if you look at, I'm not talking about, you see, when you are talking about the layman thing, tomato, there's no, if you can't use that one to relate economy.
Yeah, but that's what the people feel.
But I will tell you the reason why.
Okay.
Because of insecurity, kidnapping. Before, we have people bringing tomatoes from the north. So even during Ileya, you felt it because they couldn't bring ram. I mean, the people, they can't go to the farm. So what government needs to do is to eradicate kidnapping, eradicate insecurity. Are you getting my point? So that is what can help. So those are mundane things that insecure. Yes, you can blame government for that maybe the security things on. But I haven't said that. But I'm talking about the economic stand. You are talking about layman.
Yes.
The economy is the policies that is being used. To me, things will get eventually better. It's not something that will come up immediately. As a banker, I understand the dynamics. I understand what is going on. But the issue of food on the table. So my own point is this. And that's what I told people. Agriculture that we live. If each state, if they focus on agriculture, we have farmlands, hectares, arable lands. What are we doing about that? Those people that are supposed to be doing that, they are doing riding Okada. They make money. Yes, but having said that, there is mechanized farming. But what are we doing in terms of infrastructural development? We must, if you go to China, if you go to their villages, their roads to their farmland, very smooth. If you, in America, all the villages in New York, upstate, where you are going, all, they have the farms, the roads. Infrastructure is very key. If you don't, if it's going to, then preservation. If you cannot preserve those things, how do they say, harvest my tomato, the journey that should take me 30 minutes is taking me 3 hours. Will I be encouraged? Even the vehicle, the truck that I'm going to use cannot move. But once they can solve that problem by creating necessary, doing proper rules and everything, it will help.
So you feel that somewhere state governments...
Yes, state government must focus on that. They should stop doing the roads that...
In the city center.
To go and focus on the rural areas, when you are campaigning, you go to those villages to campaign, to come and vote for you. And you promise them you are going to do their roads. And after 4 years, you don't go back there until 3 years before. Then you come back there again. Does that make any sense?
Okay, so you would like some of the policies being done so far, but what more do you think needs to be done to get this from the level you say is now stabilizing, yes, to where it is now something we can say?
The other things that we need to do is that we should encourage our local contractors instead of bringing foreign contractors to work in Nigeria. You should see, let's be honest with ourselves, most of these contractors that are being paid, we have indigenous companies too that can do the same job. And don't forget that most of these things, they bring our own people are the ones doing the work.
But from your understanding, don't you think that has to do with the quality?
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I disagree with that. I saw a bridge that collapsed in one of the states recently. They are foreigners. Are they Nigerians? We should stop having that complex that because somebody is white or it's China, a Chinese, no. Yes, the Chinese people are good, but our people too are well trained. I remember when this man was governor, Funshaw Williams. He's an engineer. Let our engineers go and work in the city. Let's go and work. Let them work in the farm. We should stop allowing. See, when you bring in, we allow our indigenous. For example, you allow our indigenous economy to do the roads and everything. They create jobs for our people. They create jobs for our people. They have jobs for our people.
The funds.
The multiplier effect. Yes, the funds will come in there.
Okay. There's something else I also want to take you on. The government recently did tax reform, which is looking to affect almost everything. I'd like to know from your own perspective, what's your take on?
Well, let me tell you about the issue of tax. You know, the most criminal thing you can do in America and England is not to pay tax.
Okay.
Yeah. When you earn, you must give back. But the reform, from my own analysis, is that anybody that earns below $800, $800,000 naira will be exempted, which is okay. So the tax is now aiming at the more you earn, the more you pay. Which I think is, if you earn about $100,000 per annum in America, $40,000 is going to tax, or $30,000 out of it. So what I'm saying, when you pay tax, as long as the funds is utilized in that to create necessary infrastructure, bring back things, we're happy about it.
And I think also for companies, they tried to do for SMEs
and everything.
If you don't.
Yes, if you don't. So, for example, in America, in a year, if your income is below a particular amount, you don't pay tax. You just pay for your social security. So my own point is that, you see, the issue of tax, there are so many rich people in this country that they don't pay tax at all. They circumvent it. But the point is that as long as the people that are going to run it, they are genuine, they are straightforward, and they are being...
But from your perspective, do you think it's going to affect the economy possibly?
Oh, yes, it will affect the economy. Because if the revenue from the tax is coming into the system, then they will use it to do so many things, infrastructural development, at federal level, it goes to FAC too.
True.
So the fact that it's going to, I hope they are using it judiciously. That is the problem. I don't know whether I'm making sense here.
Yes, yes.
So you see, the point is that, I remember when the president was campaigning, he said, I know the enormity of what I'm going to. I know there's don't pity me. I want to serve. Mm-hmm. He said it. He knew there was a problem. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, he's an accountant. And so many reforms that he's bringing in. This man did a good job he did fantastic job in Lagos as Lagos State Governor. He brought in eggheads, and the economy, the revenue in Lagos State was 600 million naira. This man increases by over 2,000%. Yes, age that time was younger, but despite that. And
then now we have the federal and the state dichotomy, which is also playing.
From the look of things, because you hear when he's saying is that, look, he cannot go and, there's all he can do with the governors. He can't. That's the law does not allow him to do it. He cannot become a Trump in Nigeria. Even Donald Trump too, the laws that never allowed him to do it. Mm-hmm. So those are the things that we need to look at and gravitate towards doing the right thing.
But you as someone in the economic circle, you're positive about the direction.
Oh yes, I can tell you, give it to Yemi Cardoso about the strategy. He's doing very well.
But what would you then say to Nigerians who don't have your background in economics?
Okay, I will tell you this.
Who are feeling that it's a lot of political talk.
Larry,
when you come and you say it's stabilized, the economy is stabilizing.
Larry, let me tell you this, and I will remind you. I don't know how old you are. I'm over 60. Since I've been born, there's no government. I remember during Gowon. Things are bad, blah, blah, blah. And that was when Gowon introduced, are you getting me? Now, after Gowon, the military took over. It has never been like this. During Abacha, it has never been like this. After Abacha, this man, Absalam. The country is bad. They've been complaining about the country is bad since. So then that means there's something wrong. I don't know. Obasanjo too. So it is, I think there is need for proper education. And let's be honest with ourselves. There's too much politics in this country. People will not. It's just like a governor told me one day, a friend who was a governor. He said, if I don't like you, if you build a 12-story building, I will stand in front of it and say, where is the building? Where is the building? Where is it? But if I like you, Larry, and you build the walls, I said, that boy, Larry, if you see the house he built, I'll be looking up. I don't know whether. So it's the function of who likes you. Are you getting me? Some people can swear by President Tinubu. Some people say, if they tell you to shoot him. It happens.
What do you mean when you say there's too much politics?
Too much politics that if anything happens now, even if it's not, the other party, the opposition will say, this is what is going on. But there's a problem. If things are really getting bad, the people in opposition are coming to APC. Then let's, even a second-term governor that is not going to contest again, coming to APC, then there's something. It's not like saying Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad. Nigeria is not. We should even start saying positive things about Nigeria, because as Christians, if you curse, it's.
So what would you like to see in place of the politics you see?
The first, I will tell you this: let us be objective in criticism. We don't need to criticize things that are not. When things are good, I've not seen any opposition. I'm not saying because I'm APC or blah blah blah, but I've not seen any opposition that says even any good policy about this man. They will say, he has. Are you getting my point? So I think we should probably be liberal. Stop poisoning people's minds. Let's do things properly. Let's be professional. Even the people that are yapping Trump, there are sometimes they say, yes, he's done very well. He's done well in this. You must commend where somebody does something good, and where somebody didn't do something good, there you can criticize, which is okay. But it's not everything that you criticize, then there's a problem. I don't know whether.
I would like to thank you very much for the time you spent with us and the insights you've provided. Very grateful.
Thank you, Larry.
clear that we need to do more at all levels of governance, and we will expect those in authority to address some of these issues. Please send in your views. Let me know what you think, and let's discuss. Please send them to our social media handles and the email address here on the screen. Let's take some reactions now. We have some reactions to our episode with Professor Yemi Oke, Professor of Energy and Electricity Law. A viewer on YouTube, Paul Young, said, very enlightening conversation. Taiwo Guntade said, I so much enjoyed and learned a lot from this conversation with Professor Yemi Oke. Yusuf Ayodeji Mohammed, great conversation from Prof. You won my heart as an advocate for strong regulation. You are apt in your view, sir. I hope the right authorities make good use of some of your views and turn them to policies. Adeyemo Latif says, people are paying for what they did not consume. NEPA, he's saying NEPA here. NEPA, so to say, is going the way of NITEL unless they think out of the box. Power alternatives are rising. Well, those are some of the views we could take there. Thanks to all those who wrote in. Let's keep the comments coming. Let's keep watching. This is where I say thanks for being there and spending your time with us today. Have a lovely day. Bye.